Landing a new job that you're going to love and that pays you what you're worth, as we all know, is really, really tough, but it's made all the more doable if you have a plan. In this video, I'm going to walk you through all the steps that a really good career coach should be taking you through to help you bag a brilliant job. But here's the thing, you can do every one of these things on your own and put yourself in the best position possible to succeed. I'm Jacob, and even after working for 8 years in the quote-unquote career business, I only fully appreciated the importance and positive impact of a stable and lucrative job when I became a dad back in 2024. And since then, I've been on a mission to help as many people as I can upgrade their work life, get the most from it, so that there's just one less thing for them to worry about. Now, quickly, before we get started, every aspect of everything that we're about to cover, all the steps and all the points, is expanded on in full on my website, where you'll find checklists, templates, and the scripts that you can download and use to help yourself bag a brilliant job. Just load the link below. Step 1, write down the criteria of your perfect job. Without this, how do you know what you're looking for? And how do you know what aspects of a job you might see align with what you actually want? This is really important. These should include your ideal job role or title, the industries that you're willing to work in, the location, the pay range, the hours, the progression from where you are now, the kind of business that you want to work in, a small family firm or a big corporate, your preferred start date, any deal breakers that you might have, and also anything else that's really important to you. Step 2, getting organized. If you're super busy, having everything that you need stored in one place is going to allow you to pursue and follow up on more and better jobs than everybody else out there looking. Now, the easiest way for you to do this is just to create some folders on your laptop where you can store everything that you're planning to take action on. So here can go your credentials, your saved jobs, your interview prep, your notes on employers, and hopefully some offers too. Next is to create some bookmarks in your browser of choice. And in here can go your job boards, any saved jobs that you want to come back to and apply to later, and also the websites of the employers that you'd really like to work for. Step 3 are your credentials, and this is how you're going to present yourself in the best way possible when you have to jump through all of those hoops that the job boards and the employers put in place to make those applications online. First up is, of course, your CV. And since you're updating it, please try and make it good. Next is create a really broad general cover letter, which you can trim down and edit later to distill into an email or a message if you're going to use something like LinkedIn. And finally, I'd really recommend trying to think up all of the application screening questions that are going to come up in your industry or niche when you're applying to these jobs online. Formulate some really good answers, save them somewhere safe so that you can simply copy and paste them onto the job board when you need. I've been doing this a really long time. And what I've tended to find is that about 10 questions come up time and again in interviews, slight iterations on the same themes. So if you can hit around the number 10, you're probably on the right track. Step 4, job searching, also known as finding jobs in the quote-unquote traditional way. The first step here is to sign up with about 3 of the biggest job boards in your region. Get those saved searches in, get those email notifications starting to come in. Next is to register with a couple of trade-specific job boards where you're only going to see the jobs specifically in the niche that you want to work in. Try registering with a couple of good and recommended recruitment agencies in those fields and let them send you jobs as well. Finally, familiarize yourself with what we call the hidden job market, or how you're going to find those jobs that aren't publicly advertised. Step 5, get ready to market yourself directly to the employers that you want to work for. In the recruitment game, we call this speccing yourself in. Firstly, list out really clearly the employers that you would love to work for. These can either be employers who hire people who do exactly what you do, or employers who could actually really benefit from bringing somebody in who does the thing that you want to do. Next is to prepare some scripts that you're going to use when you approach these employers based on the job you're going for and, of course, based on your own experience. I'd really recommend here creating one big master script that you can then distill down into an email, a message that you can use over the phone, and then you can then practice a little bit as well if you do get an in-person meeting with the employer that you'd like to work for. These are then ready to use when the opportunity arises. Step 6, the dreaded interviews. Quick story, back in 2019, I was working with this chap who was really, really nervous for an upcoming interview. So I decided just to jot down some notes for him of exactly what he could expect and how he could take as much control as he could over the process to make it as comfortable for him as possible. So as they're thinking, okay, you've got this invitation to an interview, how would you reply to that? How would you manipulate the time, day, and setting to best suit you? What would you do in the days leading up to the interview? How are you going to get there? What are you going to do when you get there? What are you going to say? What questions are going to come up? How are you going to answer them? How are you going to follow up? All these questions have started to compound and compound until I decided to write a whole interview blueprint, which became this chunk of notes, ended up being about 8 full pages of an interview blueprint. It's available on my website, but I'm going to run through the key points here. First is to very politely reply to your invitation. Set up a date and a time and a setting that's going to suit you best. Do your research. Make sure you go really deep, but also really broad, so that when it comes to the interview day and you're sitting there in front of the employer, you can talk really confidently about the business as a whole. Next is to prepare the exact interview questions that you think are going to come up and the slight iterations and slight wording that you think could come at you come interview day. Practice those questions out loud multiple times until you feel fluid and confident in your answers. Make a travel plan. Prep your wardrobe. Nail the meet and greet when you get there. Nail the interview answers and ask them everything you're curious to know. Follow up as soon as you get home really strongly, and then a couple of days later too. And lastly, and most importantly, compare the job offers that start to come in. If you've done all of the previous steps really well, the job offers are now going to start to come in, and they may start to come in at the same time. So this can be a real minefield and cause you to have a lot of really tough choices to make. Firstly, try really hard to detach the emotion that comes with getting a job offer and realistically compare it against all of the criteria that you laid out in the first place. Next, what is your gut telling you? That's a really good indicator. How does the salary, the bonuses, and the pay progression look? Does the proposed start date work for you? What's the long-term effects of you accepting or rejecting this job? If at this point you are getting multiple offers or expect to get multiple offers around the same time, you need to really closely manage the time lag between you getting the job offer and you responding to the employer. Try your best to compare the job offers that you get like for like and use the people around you who you trust for their advice on how to move forward. Last and most importantly is to formulate your responses to these job offers. This is probably a whole other video in itself, but how are you going to negotiate the pay, perks, start date, and the actual role itself if you need to do that? Then all that's left is for you to start the job that you found and carefully molded for yourself and enjoy everything that brings to you. Yes, this video may have only taken you a few minutes to watch, but everything that you actually need to do now is going to take a little bit longer. But by having this plan in place, you're already ahead of 99% of the people out there who are out there really struggling to get jobs. Now is the time for you to take action, put all of this into practice, and go out there and find that job. And if I can help you in any of the steps that we've been through here in any way, then please just give me a shout. The links and the contact details are all below this video and on the website. Please be in touch. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.